Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Diamond Finals of the SpyParty Competitive League. My name is Taboshi. I am joined by Warning Track,
Hello, thanks for having me. I could not be more excited, Tobo.
and we have a Bearar as our observer. So, this is it! The moment you've all been waiting for, the Season 5 Grand Finals between KrazyCaley and KCM. So, without any further ado, I'm going to let Warning Track tell you all about it.
Yeah, and there's a lot to say. As you know by now, this is our annual attempted regicide. KrazyCaley has won the SEL championship all 4 seasons the league has been in existence, and he's had a different opponent each time until now. KCM is the first player to score a finals rematch, and with it, a second chance at the crown. He's got a shot at making history tonight. And history is what these two make every time they play, because no two players in the SEL have squared off as often or as excitedly as Caley and KCM. It's 119 games and counting heading into tonight, spread over 11 matches. That is basically an entire season of games just against each other. It is the longest and most storied rivalry in league history. It's the best versus the best sniper in the game versus the best spy in Diamond history, the champion versus the challenger, the monarch versus the revolutionary, the sniper versus the spy. It's Caley versus KCM. And Tobo, I'm relying on you to remain conscious the whole time.
I'll see what I can do,
I didn't
Track,
knock
but
you out
it's
already?
gonna be
Okay.
something.
Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about that history, because they have a history over those 119 games. There's a lot to look at here. Basic head-to-head, pretty straightforward. Caley has won sniper games against KCM 74% of the time and spy games 39% of the time. Good numbers. KCM, 61% sniper rate, pretty standard for him. But that last number, that's what's key. It doesn't look too remarkable by itself, right? Let's drill down into that. That's a 26% spy win rate against just KrazyCaley. If we drill down into that number, it may sound modest, but you need context. That 26% is against the best sniper, but if you compare it to everybody else, it's much better. Everybody else is beating Caley's sniper just 12% of the time. So KCM is more than twice as likely as the rest of Diamond collectively to win a given spy game against Caley, and he's done that on the strength of one mission in particular: bug the ambassador. KCM set a personal high this season by bugging in 66% of his spy games. That is almost twice the rate of the rest of the division. And that 66% bug rate, by the way, was the second highest in all of SCL, barely edged out by Cotty and Iron. And that is a big, big deal, because Bug is going to be active in every single game tonight, be it Balcony or Aquarium or Ballroom or Veranda, because the rules are a little different for the championship match, aren't they, Tobo?
Yeah, the rules are a little bit different because you can't play a match of this magnitude on the regular rules, so we're doing things a little bit differently tonight. As usual, both players get to ban out one venue entirely. As usual, both players get to pick one venue to play twice. But after that, what we do is we just line up every venue in the SCL from alphabetically from A to Z, and we start rolling through them. You skip the banned ones, you play the doubled ones twice for a total of 24 games, first to 13 wins. If you wind up tied 12 to 12, things go absolutely bloody insane, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yep. And those venues, by the way, because they are all potentially in play, you need to focus more than usual on which venues are strengths and weaknesses. There's nowhere to hide here. You only get the one ban and you get the one double. In the finals, you play every venue but the two that are banned. So on Library, Veranda, and to a lesser extent, Courtyard. KCM, on the other hand, has better win rates on Balcony, Tayen, and High Rise. Now, obviously, you try to win every game. You try to take every venue, especially if you're as competitive as these two guys are. But at this level, you have to be realistic. If you can win your best venues and just force a split on your opponents, you've got to count that as a win, which is why I expect both players are going to ban one of these three venues, probably High Rise for Caley and Library for KCM. And I think we have those picks and bans. Let's take
Do
a
we have
look.
them already? Are we already in there?
Yeah, I think we're up. Well, it looks like they've just started. I have the bands at least. I'm seeing, yep, Caley bands High Rise and KCM bands Library.
All right, so as expected so far, now we're just waiting on the doubled picks.
Yeah, waiting on the doubled picks. We're catching up to them here live. I'm really curious about this. I don't actually have much of a guess. KCM has preferred Gallery quite a bit. Oh, it looks like there they are. Okay, Tayen and Veranda. KCM
Oh
picks
boy,
Tayen.
oh boy.
All right, so reminder, these are not the order you go in. You go in alphabetically except for the band venues. Otherwise, it is just alphabetical. So the doubled picks are going to come near the end of the match. T and V are near the end of the alphabet.
This is true. Which
So
means we're going to be starting the night off on Aquarium.
we are. I was wondering about that. As long as it wasn't banned, we were going to start off on Aquarium, the newest venue in competitive SpyParty. There is a big honking shark in the middle of it, which blocks the sniper's view very, very often, but that suits an aggressive spy like Caley too, and it looks like their match is starting right now. We are just about underway.
Match is made. Everybody's filing into the room. We are going to be underway in just a few moments, and I could not be more excited about this.
Breathe, Tobo, breathe.
You're asking a lot, friend.
All right, I'm going to tell them to go ahead when ready, because I think we're as ready as we're going to get.
I think so.
Oh, this is it. We've done this a number of years in a row, my friend. It's somehow gotten a little more exciting, I think, maybe every season.
I don't know, man. Last time these two guys matched up, we saw one of the most famous plays in SpyParty history. But we are officially underway. KrazyCaley on the spy side of Aquarium. KCM on the sniper to open up the festivities this evening with a failed reverse drive-by bug.
Very in character for Caley, right out of the gate with the aggression. Don't know if it was noticed, but that's not the kind of thing KCM's usually going to ding you for anyway. He's going to catch you on more behavioral things most of the time.
It was a pretty good angle for it, hard to spot, and an unintuitive time for it as well, so it looks like KrazyCaley got away from it. Going for the fingerprint on the briefcase right off the bat after the 34% flirt, and now chasing down that seduction target as well.
And we're not next to it, but that's going to be okay, especially with Caley's general AT rate.
Well, it's 2 whites so far. We're sitting at 61%. Luckily, this is not a difficult venue to get flirts on.
No, it's not. And there's going to be a lot of downtime here now. That's okay. Both these players under pressure, ready to go. One man tonight has come to defend, and the other to dethrone.
Hard to imagine the amount of stress and pressure these players are under.
Pressure must be immense, but that's the cost. Pressure is how you create diamonds and champions.
Looks like KrazyCaley might be hanging out here waiting for a timer flirt. He should still be in range if he hits the green test on it.
You've got more than enough time for this, especially with that early fingerprint, yeah.
And he does indeed hit the green to finish the seduce in 3. Still has a fingerprint in pocket as well, with just under 2.5 minutes to play. Stepping into conversation with the double agent now.
Banana bread.
Contact comes off fast on a green test. Lets off 3 lowlights, one of whom was very small.
And it's statues to boot, and there's going to be a 4th low light for Taft, and that's significant in part because Caley loves to play him, especially on venues where you can swap body block, and this is one of them.
This is very true.
Fingerprintable statue.
Fingerprintable statue indeed, and in the back here for a pair of inspects and the second fingerprint getting finished up. So that's 3 mission completions with progress on a 4th. One more statue visit will do it. Does he go right away? He does indeed. Is Caley going to get shot for this? It depends how confident KCM is on these fingerprints, I think.
The timing is bad.
Last mission.
You don't want to be doing this here because it looks like you're trying to swap behind the shark. It's going to work anyway, potentially, but
2
that
seconds.
was a risk. That was a big risk.
That was a big risk indeed, but KCM goes down first from the sniper side.
I think in a normal Caley match, if it weren't the league finals, if it weren't KCM, if so much were not at stake, I think he would have swapped there at the back rather than finish the inspect. He does go inspect, but he can't help but be aggressive anyway. He goes for it immediately, and it's behind side shark, which was not what you want there at all. But KCM, he's known for holding his shot, and that is one of the reasons Caley has been able to win almost 40% of his sniper games against him, because Caley does missions, and because KCM is patient, and that's a bad matchup that he's going to have to break if he wants to win tonight.
Generally speaking, you do not want spy games to go long against KCM. He is very good at whittling the party down.
Yeah, he is. But if you are obvious like that late, if he doesn't actually see something definitive, he's usually going to let you mission win. He's going to do that way more than Civ Shot.
Little bit of awkward business going on at the bar, but I don't think that's something KrazyCaley is going to catch you on. Does get a delegate and gets away from it. Gets a bug coming across the back as well, wide open with no shark in sight.
The hand was definitely visible, but I'm not sure Caley was looking. I think he was just starting to go over and take care of his sniper housekeeping with that highlight on wheels. And while we're going to delegate too, Caley's cursor did move when the delegate leave happened. I wonder if he saw it. It'd be a shame to get away with the bug, but shot for the delegate.
And you were talking earlier about just how good KCM's bugs have been, especially against KrazyCaley.
Yep, and I'm not at all surprised to see him bug without aid of the shark. You need to combine it, though, with not being behind the shark and the ambassador at the same time, too, so you're one of the handful of people not credited. And here come the lowlights for that purloin.
43% off of that first flirt. Look at all of these lowlights. The party's dropping like flies. 4 left unlowlit. Just 3 now. Back up to 4.
But here's the thing. If one of them does something, he's going to feel obligated to shoot. Caley will absolutely feel obligated to shoot.
Once again, down to 3. The highlight is gone. KCM, with green book in hand, has the bug, has the fingerprint, has 43% on the flirt. Where do we go from here? It's going to be the contact. 3rd mission completion. The shot comes off, and KrazyCaley comes out to an early lead.
Yep, 2-0, just like that. I'm not too surprised by the sniper side, of course, but I think he absolutely got away with that bug with no shark cover. Who does that? Who does that? KCM does that. Bugs without the shark on Aquarium just because.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, goodness.
My, oh my, just catching that little twitch at the back coming away from the purloin.
And this, Balcony, they have played so many games together on Balcony. This represents one of KCM's best chances to get those spy wins and to even win 2 in a row. But suddenly, even if he does sweep it, it's just back to even.
Man, KrazyCaley is not somebody you want to give a lead to.
No, he will grind you down after that, but you can't hide. Remember, he doesn't have just his picked venues coming up to win those sniper games on. You got to play out almost everything.
Lots of time to come back into this for KCM, but it is going to have to be a comeback as KrazyCaley opens things up on Balcony from the spy side. Flirt for 34%.
That's actually huge because Caley is going to finish here, and KCM almost never civ shots on Balcony when he loses. It's to mission wins, and as I mentioned, Caley gets missions done. If Caley hits his ATs, KCM almost never shoots him here on Balcony, but if he misses them, then he's got a chance if he has to rush a flirt late.
Well, it's not going to be 3 green. Contact coming off. Everyone starts leaving. That's 3 lowlights.
But Caley's one of them? Is that a misclick?
I assume so, but he's not coming back up. What's happening here?
I'm not sure. He might have not liked the timing and thought it wasn't quite possible with the talk. Whatever it was, you can still shoot a low light on Balcony here. At least the suspect pool's narrowed down, but this is very strange and potentially very dangerous.
Second flirt, 61%, same as KCM had last game.
This is huge, though, now. He needs the green. If he doesn't hit this green, that's one of the ways you lose this game, even as a low light.
This is very true. As you were saying, KCM does not take civ shots on this map.
Overwhelmingly, he loses to mission wins instead of civ shots, yeah.
Timer's starting to tick down. He needs to hit this green test, and he hasn't been hitting green tests so far this evening. The shot comes off. It's not the correct one. KrazyCaley up by 3.
That's really rough. Rocker absolutely wandering around, doing all sorts of things. The low light maybe didn't even matter then, but would you be watching her that much if you hadn't already ruled out General? That was one of the games KCM really needed. It is a long set indeed, but Aquarium and Balcony, two of the venues you'd expect him to have a chance to take relative to the others, which he's mostly going to be trying to split, and he's just missed two of his best chances.
Man, when prints are on, crazy things happen on Balcony. Players just aren't used to it.
Yep, this is something Kaylee used to do all the time on Old Balcony back in the day. Absolutely. And every now and then you get lucky and the AI completes it for you and you're in a difficult position, but they almost never do. That's the brutal thing.
I guess he figures if he's not going to bug, may as well take the chance, and it works out for him this time. Now with KCM, he is good at his bugs, and he is going to leave that open. No fingerprint this time.
He actually gets away with it on Balcony sometimes, even against Kaylee. It's pretty nuts.
Not a very busy conversation to open the game. KCM in an awkward spot.
And anyone who could flirt in the beginning of a Balcony game, the first few talkers, people who go to Windows, stuff like that, they almost always get highlights from Kaylee, but they come back down after a while. He uses it to sort of keep track of talks.
Yeah, well, KCM gets highlight for flirting at the window and doesn't even get the flirt off.
Yeah, maybe 3-0, but I want to remind you that in the Season 3 finals, Kaylee jumped out to a 5-1 lead, and KCM stayed alive with a spy win on Veranda and won 3 in a row to get back in it, lost on the final game. KCM has played from behind against Kaylee a lot, and that's usually when he turns it on.
It's a green test on the first flirt, 51% for KCM, and a good position in conversation. Is moving around a lot, though, is not content to just sit and wait for the timer on this.
No, and this is very against type for him. He normally is not aggressive about the flirts like this, and maybe that's why he's doing it. But that green test is not worth as much against Kaylee. Kaylee will shoot for 3 greens. KCM won't very often, so this is very different.
Well, it's not going to be a 3-green game as we hit a white on the second, 85%, but we got it done fast enough that a timer flirt is, in fact, on the table. It's going to leave overtime, but it's on the table. The shot comes off for the contact, crediting the window flirt, and it is 4-0.
Well, he's going to need a little bit of that magic now. He's going to need the same type of skill that he showed when he was down last season. I think it was 5-1. He was down in the finals in Season 3, 5-1. Just like that. 4-0. KCM doesn't want to have to come back, but he's going to have to.
If there's anyone that can pull it off, it's him, but it's not a position you want to be in, especially this early on. KrazyCaley with a lot of momentum and some bad pathing into conversation. Not even conversation, into a painting pad with the seduction target. Doesn't look like it was caught.
And an overly short visit at the pad, too. These are just... And look at that. Quick. I'm not even sure if that was a full island conversation. Kaylee's just bouncing around. But he does this all the time and is very rarely punished for it.
In conversation at a distance with the seduction target. Still hits a green test. Bumps him up to 75%. Very quick start from KrazyCaley, though not the cleanest one.
Kaylee's mission completions on Ballroom this season have been pretty straightforward. The standard contact, inspect, seduce, he basically always does them. But he is equally likely after that to do swap, bug, or fingerprint. Whether or not he gets a fingerprint early will determine probably which of those it's going to be.
In conversation with the double agent now. Decides not to, going back for the last flirt instead. That's one mission done now with the flirt.
Yep, it's very, very aggressive, but I would expect nothing less.
Now stepping back into the conversation with the double agent.
It's a pretty good time as soon as this SDA gets in.
It is indeed. Contact comes off.
That's an excellent
just the one low light.
Ended up taking a second from Rocker, but I don't think it was a hard low light. It's a pretty good one, though, certainly. 2 people, no SDA, alone there, and I think she might have been even sipping. So only 3 eventually with Walt there. That's not great.
Very good contact indeed, and KrazyCaley now stepping into center statues on the left side.
Swap totally plausible here, but If the ambassador's in a buggable position, he might go for that instead. How long is he going to stay at windows? There's the swap.
He just goes for it. It's a green test on the swap. Might have stayed just a split second into his third animation, but got away fast enough that it wasn't really noticeable. This is something that KCMmmmm does a lot. Stands near the ambassador to try to distract from the statue.
Yep, and KCMmmmm was guarding
it from this angle.
KCMmmmm was really guarding that bug too. He's very suspicious. Did he see it?
There's
he did.
The
he
swap
did.
Coming off, sees the swap, takes the shot. KCMmmmm on the board.
There's one. It's not much. You still need a spy win, and you need it soon. It's a long set, but you're on the board. KCMmmmm, I think, at that point, was waiting on all that. You could see the rotation on the right. He rotated to protect that bug so strong. Great rotation from KCMmmmm. Really good sniper play. That was a strong spy game countered by an even better sniper game.
And knowing that it's a green test as well, so you don't really need to check that until the end of the first animation, is really good heads-up play from KCMmmmm.
Yep, absolutely. And what I'm looking for here now with KCMmmmm is a bug into a potential statueless or silent win. That's what he normally does. He bugs.
The walking flirt to start things off, a close green for 51% and gets out of there.
It's so pretty, but it's a shame to see it wasted on a sniper who doesn't care. It's still going to come down to bug, especially with this character. KCMmmmm has bugged more than any other mission on Ballroom, even Contact, by 30%. He bugs on Ballroom. That
was a red flirt.
Yeah, that's a little bad. I think he was maybe just trying to rush it a little bit, but it's going to be just fine. But at some point, it'll be genuinely surprising, unless the ambassador doesn't cooperate, if he doesn't get a bug off.
Hey, when those green tests show up on the edge, it happens sometimes if you go for it. At least it was a flirt and not a contact. But 78%
there
of the
it
flirt, there's the bug coming across! I think it was clean. A beautiful little wrong arm coming in front of the ambassador. What a bug!
This is what KCMmmmm does. He bugs when you'd think to yourself, there's no way someone's going to bug here. He did it on Aquarium with the same character. He does it here. That was absolutely beautiful. The question is, does Caley even suspect it? If he suspects it and the BB and the inspects line up, he might feel obligated to take that shot.
He had a drink in hand on the buggable side. How do you hit the wrong arm from that angle? That was incredible. Contact coming off now. A few lowlights, but I think that was clean.
It might have been. Caley can take that behavioral shot for the statue visit if he's suspicious, but he doesn't like to do it. The question is he more or less likely to when he's already got a lead?
Little bit of weird pathing on the way through, but that's not the kind of thing KrazyCaley will catch you on. I really do think KCMmm's in a commanding position in this game.
Look at that sniper angle. He looks like he's guarding bug against Orange Sari. If he's guarding bug, that means there's at least some doubt in his mind that it's already happened.
Yeah, that is very true. Assuming real on the contact means a lot of lowlights, but I just don't know if it matters at this point.
And he's zooming in on drink takes. He's zooming in on drink takes from that highlight plane twin. I think center statues will probably get it done here.
KCMmmmm agrees with you, it looks like. It is center statues. It's a highlight that usually means no shot, but you can't be certain just yet.
He knows he's got 15 seconds to decide. Caley is a disciplined enough sniper to shoot at the very end if he has to.
And it looks like he's going to! KrazyCaley somehow gets the shot on that bug. I am impressed.
I can tell you what Caley would say if that was on stream. He would say, I hate this shot. There's no way he wanted to take that shot. It's not the game he wants to play, and that's what KCMmmmm does to him over and over, is make him play the way he doesn't want to play. But if he has to take that rough behavioral shot, sometimes he can. As you mentioned, really, really narrowed down by assuming real, because he noticed that KCMmmmm does not fake much. That is ultimately what probably saved that game, but I still don't think he wanted to take that shot. It was a brilliantly played game, just like before. Good spy game, even better sniper game. Again, both games on Ballroom.
Man, you gotta think against almost any other player, I don't think Caley would take that shot.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And the last time these two play Courtyard together, Spies won both games. Crazy with a KrazyCaley rush. Instant bug from Caley.
There's the bug. There's the shot. KCMmmmm is on to the shenanigans. And gets an easy one.
No way he does that without the lead. This is Caley reverting to the mean. This is what Caley does. Yeah, the last time they played Courtyard, it was 2 spy wins. Caley rushed a Purloin into statues, into swap before KCM could even react, and KCM countered with a Twitch bug as Cowboy to win the game. But that's not a spy win, and KCM has a small opening here to get back in this match.
KCM on the spy side of Courtyard, generally considered a sniper-favored map, but with the creativeness of people like KCM, that can flip, because if you can find a hard tell, you're basically in the clear.
Yep, and we know what hard tell it's most likely to be. It's bug. He bugs here a lot, and he's got a character that's good for those bugs, and we're pretty sure he's gotten away with bug twice.
The window, the Purloin at the window, it's a white test!
That's just going to be the game. No way Caley's going to miss a white test Purloin on Courtyard.
No, I think you're right. The shot comes off. Courtyard goes away in the blink of an eye. And as we keep trading games here, it only favors KrazyCaley.
Yep, he can win the war of attrition after that 4-0 start. That move right there was clearly green and you win, white and you lose. Not something KCM normally does, but it's a decent play to make on Courtyard where you're not likely to win anyway.
This is true. You've got to take risks on the spy side of Courtyard. Both players did, and it worked out for neither of them.
I want to see if Caley rushes books. Nope, he's got a drink. He's got a drink. He's not gonna. We're good. We're safe. We can breathe.
KrazyCaley chasing down his seduction target. Even turns around with her as we open up gallery. She goes to statues, this poor man.
Yeah, that's a little rough. And with Caley, you really have to watch out for everything. He actually doesn't favor bug on gallery that much, tends to go Purloin instead, but he'll microfilm very often too, but just has not played it much this season. KCM, significantly more experienced on gallery. We'll see if that matters, though. He needs it.
KrazyCaley stepping into conversation with both the seduction target and the double agent, at a bit of a distance, though. Double agent steps away and then rejoins, so everything is fine once again. White test on the flirt for 28%, but there's not nearly enough people in conversation to contemplate the contact here. Oh, now this back conversation's starting to fill up quite a bit. The front one's still pretty empty, but look at all these people. Gets the bug standing in conversation.
KCM was zoomed in on it right there, but it looked like it happened with a normal idle sway, so it was barely visible. The question is, does KCM even suspect it? The BB is a big deal here.
Contact comes off, here come the lowlights, but that bug was so nice. When the ambassador walks up to you like that, it's not the easiest thing in the world to assume someone right next to them is the spy and are going to bug.
Not only that, but you do the standard, my laser is on you, who would bug? I don't have to watch bug because the laser is watching for me. That sometimes is the best time to bug.
Less so on this map in particular because the laser is always watching. But it is very much a valid strategy that snipers do rely on, especially at this level. KrazyCaley now back in conversation with the seduction target, this time a little bit closer, hits the white test for 62%, so is going to need to hit a green if he wants to 3-flirt this. Minute and 30 to play.
I gotta be honest, so far, if you switch the usernames, I'd believe you. This looks like a KCM gallery spy game.
It really does.
And is it going to be like Salmon on Aquarium? Is it just go get the inspects done and dare him to shoot? And will he react differently?
Seduction target bails again to statues.
Oh, bounce,
Caley, no! Caley, no! Oh, God, the pathing!
Lot of bumps there. The question is, does KCM notice or care? Request drink from waiter.
So at least there's that.
We're requesting a drink from the waiter from all the way across gallery, and then we're moving. Did we think better of it?
I'm not sure. Might
what was
just
that
have
about?
Wanted Toby to go somewhere different. Oh, this pathing is not pretty. Really chasing the seduction target hard. Gets the green test on the third one. So that is a 3-flirt into bookcase, but 30 seconds left. No progress. It's going to have to be some crazy bookage going on, and I don't think this is going to get by KCM.
KCM is one of the people who I would expect to catch that kind of aggressive flirting. That's how he gets you so often, the missions you take for granted like that. I guess he's just going to wait for late activity, hope a highlight is taking a list or going to statues, and just dump the book.
There's
There it is.
blue bookcase, there's the dump. It is going to be overtime. No reaction from KCM, though. No reaction. The shot comes off. It's the wrong twin.
And it didn't take. He just wasn't looking. He just wasn't looking. There was no indication he saw any of that.
I was so sure KCM was on that.
At some point, right around the time Caley decided to dump the book, KCM zoomed out and basically just stayed zoomed out, and it all unfolded from there. I'm not sure what it was.
Well, now it's KCM on the spy side. 7-2 is the scoreline, and this hole just keeps getting deeper.
Stop me if I sound like a broken record here, but I think KCM might bug. He is bugged in his gallery games this season 83% of the time. It's what he does.
Banana bread.
The banana split coming out of KCM after 34% on the flirt. This is not the kind of thing Caley will usually catch you for, but pulls out a green book during all of the lights. That could be a big play.
Banana bread.
And a fake
coming off afterwards. Let's off 1, 2, 3 more. This is a lot of low lights. 85% on the flirt now, but this is a dangerous play coming out of KCM.
It is. I think you may be looking at the replays and seeing the assume reels. The question is this really the time to try to take advantage of that? It's just covering for the book. That's the whole thing. That's all or nothing.
It really is. I don't think Caley's looking at this book at all, so that's the transfer done. Hardtail in the books, if you'll pardon the pun, but 85% on the flirt and one other mission to get. This is very doable as KCM gets highlight for stepping into statues and grabbing a pair of inspects.
Pardon the pun, I'll praise it, in fact. And yeah, KCM is just going to behave as if the microfilm is clean. He traded so many lowlights for that microfilm. But we don't know what Caley thinks or what he suspects until he goes to statues a second time.
Oh, the seduction target walking up to the other statue, so we're able to get that free flirt. Statue to statue here. This is going to be the last mission. 2 minutes left to play. This is a very early finish. Can Caley take this shot?
2 minutes left. I think this might work. He traded all those lowlights for the microfilm, and he got a great deal.
That stop off the pad at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, KCM has arrived.
It's a spy win. It might be too late. It's only 7-3 with that spy win. He gave away so many other games, but the question is, it's a long set. Mental fatigue can play in, especially for a sniper who relies on focus as much as Caley does. And now we're heading on to Modere, where these two have a hell of a history.
With KCM's track record, this is still doable. It's a mountain to climb, don't get me wrong, but it is still doable.
He just doesn't have any more margin.
Immediately swaps on the left side. Talk about all or nothing plays. This is the kind of thing Caley does. If he can only get you with a few of these, he is confident enough in his sniper play that he knows that'll carry you to victory. I don't know if KCM knows what that statue was.
KCM is a little vulnerable to swap on Modere. It's absolutely true, but I'm seeing some lowlights coming off, so that indicates he's noticed this. Yup, way narrowed down in exchange for one mission, and that might work on Gallery for microfilm, but on Modere, when you have to do 4 other missions, it's probably not a good trade.
It was scary for a moment there, but I think KCM has this. I would not trade an early swap like that for a highlight and half the party getting low lit.
Yeah, that was Caley's only his second swap on Modere to spy this season. It was his least completed mission coming into this game on Modere. It's not what he normally does, and I think maybe he saw he was kind of close to the statue, but the fact is he wasn't that close. It wasn't actually a great in-the-moment decision, I don't think.
I don't think so. 3 minutes and 10 still on the play. Tons and tons of time, but KrazyCaley might be too far in the hole, and he knows it. He saw those lowlights going off, so he takes a fake contact. Unfortunately, the suspected double agent is right there, so it's not going to lose him any heat.
Nope, not at all. All it's going to do is let off a couple more lowlights. That's 11 total now.
3 highlights, 3 neutral lights. Everyone else is low lit.
Yeah, and it feels like with that fake, and as you said, noticing all those lowlights, Caley at this point might be trying to figure out who can I frame, who is low lit, who is not. If you don't have a good sense of it, you're just gambling at this point. But it sure looks like he's trying to convince him he's not the spy. Look at all the time he is conspicuously wasting out front.
Yeah, Caley knows this is a difficult situation. I don't know if he'll be able to make the frame game happen, but he is definitely all in on not doing missions at this point. He knows he's too far in the hole.
That's at least true for a while, but in my experience, Caley really hates timing out so much that even in a futile situation, at the very end, when it's clear a frame is not going to happen, he almost always tries to get missions done after all.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just don't see it working this time around. Under 2 minutes now.
Well, this is one of the benefits of being a patient sniper like that. You might let up the mission wins, but when a situation like this happens and you're trying to induce a civ shot, it usually doesn't take. But how paranoid is he? How sure is he of this suspect pool?
KrazyCaley really slow playing this. Trying to stay as far away from mission sites as he can. Trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. Alone in conversation on the opposite side with the ambassador. Someone else joins in. This is very look how innocent I am play.
Yeah, Disney not so innocent though. Fingerprints, action, moving around, inspects. If anyone gets shot other than the spy, it might be him.
Under a minute now. I don't see a way for Caley to finish missions here. I don't think
he's gonna try to frame Disney. He's gonna try to frame Disney. Disney talked and he left. He has identified a frame target. I don't know how sure he is that he's not low lit, but this is the move he's gonna make. This is the big moment.
The fake green purloin. Daring KCM to take a shot on a 50-50. Knows that Disney has been active.
Too hard tells showing. Too hard tells showing.
Picks the perfect frame target. KCM not reacting yet. I think he has a good enough mission count to know that Disney can't be done.
The 10 seconds since the purloin have passed. Until they do something else, there's no reason. It's just going to be a timeout to make a point or a timeout at windows. One or the other.
There are so few people who are willing to hold a shot in that situation, but KCM is one of them. Finds a win on the sniper side in a game that was far closer than any of us thought it would be.
I don't know if Caley knew for sure who he had to frame, but he did indeed pick the perfect frame target. But this is the flip side of those mission wins KCM lets you have. What an incredible hold on the sniper side.
And if KCM can win this spy game, suddenly this is looking like a match again.
Yeah, but he still kind of needs to. 8-4, it isn't over, especially with that double Tayen pick coming up. But you are absolutely back in this match if you win this spy game.
In time ad.
Caley is so good at getting these lowlights, but it was early on while he was doing the housekeeping, lowlighting the ambassador. Does he have any sense of this? I don't see the normal Caley time ad lowlights coming off.
Nor do I. It's harder when it's green than when it's white.
And on a busy venue with a lot of early activity when he's guarding against early bugs.
Here come the lowlights.
Oh, and that was not a good trade as it turns out. He did get enough lowlights to more than counteract that time ad. But one of the powers of time ad is when the sniper gets it on the wrong person, tunnels on them, and then shoots them later. I don't think that's going to happen here, but that is an underrated part of time ads, even when they get their lowlights.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good trade against KrazyCaley, but it does give him more to think about. Slowly bringing some people back from lowlit that he wasn't that confident on.
That's significant. Usually Caley has a high degree of confidence. Frankly, even when he can't be sure sometimes. He'll take a lot of high confidence lowlights and he'll throw in a few more on for banana splits and the like. But I think in this case, it's just an unusual choice from KCM because his pacing is so good. He's one of the few spies that doesn't necessarily need that time ad, and Caley, one of the few snipers who reliably catches them. But I will say this is fewer lowlights than Caley normally gets from this.
Yeah, but honestly, this makes it very clear that Caley is not going to tunnel. He's just going to take his lowlights and be happy, move forward with the game. KCM has 45% on the flirt and has used a lot of this time to just be as inconspicuous as possible and let Caley gather suspects. But now is coming away from the bar with a delegate and stepping into blue bookcase. KCM is now on the move.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. The way he loses this game, oh, he's watching that arm. He's got it. I think he's got this.
Yep, he does indeed. KrazyCaley is on top of things. It's 8-4.
And that one was just given away way too early. And you're right, it didn't look like Caley was tunneling on someone. And that's pretty much the only way you win that Modere game after the time ad.
Caley wins 4 games off the top of the match, and they've been trading back and forth since then. We are halfway through the match at this point.
Yep, back and forth.
Now we get into some of the 3-5 venues, which Caley likes a lot less.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Caley has only played pub twice this season. KCM has not played it at all. And you're right, it's back and forth, punch, counter punch. In boxing, by the way, fights last 12 rounds. And I can't think of a more appropriate time in their 12th matchup to settle the rivalry between these two SpyParty heavyweights.
Man, that was a fantastic analogy.
Thank you. Don't sound so
surprised. I'm impressed. 34% on the flirt and at the bar to open the game, but this is a venue where you have a lot of time to work with.
Yep, and this does play to KCM's strengths, but again, he has not played it this season. It's a little unfamiliar to him. The real thing is, what really concerns me though, is that one of the things KCM should be getting him for, etiquette stuff, behavioral stuff, rushing around, bad paths, he doesn't seem to be catching. And if you don't catch Caley for those on the 3-5s, he's just as dangerous as any other spy, potentially.
Don't put too much stock into these highlights. This is really just tracking who has been to bar and has a delegate available. Yep. KrazyCaley is, in fact, one of those, as we pick up the second flirt for 68%.
And Bug is off, by the way. We're leaning heavy into the frame game here by leaving Purloin and Fingerprint on instead, and that probably makes sense, given KCM's penchant for catching Bug. Against a really good sniper, it's just so hard to get away with on pub.
There goes the delegate. There goes the contact. A couple of lowlights come off. We're trying to distract from this take. There's the take, completely on camera that the shot comes off.
No hesitation. Didn't even consider it this time. Just right away.
KCM on top of things on the sniper side, now stepping into the spy.
And we're in the same position as Modere, but with 2 fewer games. Needs the spy win to bring it back to just 2 down. Again, the doubled TN looming. And Terrace, for that matter. There are chances to come back, but you're running out of time.
You are running out of time indeed, but if KCM can find this extra spy win on one of these maps relatively early on in the second half here, that buys him a lot of opportunity moving forward as he picks up his first flirt for 25%.
And look at this. Bug is off. Amazing. The only scenario I think where KCM would leave Bug off is pub and Caley. It's the only time where that's not a high percentage play for him.
I think you're right.
Amazing.
Would rather have the possibility of...
Oh! Slams into the wall, it looks like. What is that?
I think he thought there was a pad there and then realized at the last moment there wasn't.
That's pretty rough because you're deliberately going there to buy goodwill. Stealth highlight from Caley. He's all over this.
Yeah, this is a very bad situation. I don't know what happened there, but it wasn't good. Second flirt comes off for 59, and this is a bad, bad situation for KCM.
It was, and again, it's wasted on Caley. He's going to treat pub pretty robotically, especially with a lead. And AI finishes, they're probably going to get a bullet. You don't need to try to buy that goodwill for when you finish later, necessarily. It's going to be wasted on him, and in this case, it caused you to literally run into the wall like you were at an actual pub and had too much to drink, and now he is all over you for no mission progress.
I don't know what happened. That is so unlike KCM to make a mistake like that.
Could be a mouse slip, could it be just misjudge it, could be nerves. Whatever it is, now you really got to hope that an AI completes. But even then, even Caley might think twice after seeing that bump.
Minute and 45 to play. There's the green flirt on the third to finish up the mission. So that's one mission down. We have seen a lot of last-minute green flirts.
Yeah, we have, but the problem is just how do you finish this? He's keeping KCM on screen. He wasn't even looking at green dress at that far statue.
Difficult fingerprint on the statue. That might be how we do it. If we can hit a pair of difficults, but we're not able to hit that one, there goes that game plan.
Caley is at the point where he is crediting things like flirts and difficulties. He is assuming that his high-level opponents hit ATs, just sight unseen. So I agree, it gives you a chance, but it's also something Caley is still willing to shoot for. The question is, will an AI give him that opportunity?
Well, picking up a delegate. This is going to be a hard delegate to get away with, almost an impossible one. But it looks like he's picked a good target for it, at least.
Yeah, he's picked the best target, but I just don't see how he gets away from this.
That was a safety off on the double agent, and now I am very confused. Mission win pending as the Purloin gets delegated. I don't see KCM getting away with this.
It is a silent game. That is significant, but I don't think this is going to be enough. Boots is acting like the spy, basically, and she did
going
that
back into statues again to try to distract, I think.
No, he sees it. He sees it. He's keeping the list on screen, and he's got KCM on screen. He's not lining up a shot for green dress. Look at the angle here. It's all about making that shot easy on KCM.
There's no way. There's the take. There's the twitch of the camera. There's the shot coming off. KCM holds serve.
And now we're really up against it. And the really heartbreaking thing is that on some of these games, these spy games, the unforced errors that not just gave the game away, but gave a winnable spy game away. It's on the venues KCM has the best chance of winning that he has made some of the biggest mistakes.
And now we are on to Taeyen. This is where KCM really needs to start making things happen. But keep in mind, we're playing this one twice. But also keep in mind, KrazyCaley literally just played 1,000 games on this map.
He did, but I don't know if that makes you better or worse, to be perfectly honest. It just means you've played a lot of Taeyen. In those games, though, Caley very graciously posted his overall public stats, and there were very few mission wins. It was almost all the sniper losses were civ shots. Now, granted, that's a little different than in competitive, to say the least, but the problem for KCM is he doesn't like to bank on those. He likes to get missions done too. So even though it makes a lot of sense to wait for a civ shot here, I don't know if KCM's going to want to. The real question is, can KCM finish late enough in the game to allow for that opportunity, and can he lock down both of these sniper wins?
Let's find out as KCM steps into the sniper side of Taeyen. KrazyCaley on the spy. Here we go.
Salmon, again, Caley has played 4 Taeyen games this season, by the way, and he's bugged in every single one of them.
First flirt comes off for 34%.
This is so rough for KCM. If he sweeps Taeyen, they are tied. You really got to imagine he needs at least 3 out of 4 here.
Yeah, I agree.
We're just running out of time.
We've been running out of time all night long, unfortunately, for KCM.
After this, it's Terrace.
Ambassador doing things.
Just Taeyen things. It's Terrace after this, I'll remind you, and then the doubled pick of Veranda, which was Caley's pick. Taeyen is one of your last best hopes.
Very slow game so far. Still just that one flirt.
But we do have all statues covered by Shoji, though.
Speaking of statues, that's where Caley's heading next. Just goes right in for the swap, too. The shot comes off! It's not the right one! And that is not the start KCM was looking for.
Rocker was at statues. He's just acting like a green swapper. He killed time all game, specifically waiting for someone to do that, and he's fine coin flipping his way to the championship at this point. That's what that was. KCM needed to win the coin flip. It's tails instead of heads, and now his back is absolutely against the wall.
What a play from KrazyCaley there.
I mean, it's a
Man,
pretty...
he has had such fun to watch decisions on the spy side.
I don't think he does that without the lead. At this point, if it's a 50-50, he'll absolutely take it. That's not a problem for him at all.
KCM gets the bug in early.
Yep. But, you know, you're just going to credit that anyway, so it's not going to be about the bug ultimately. It's going to be about how KCM finishes. Does he get shot for going to center statues? It's not very like him, but I don't know if he gets away with something like microfilm. Green Purloin.
We purloin on a green test. Statues are covered. Half of the bookcases are covered. This is probably the ideal Soji setup.
Yep, and there's a reject chain, and KCM, by the way, he did that at the perfect time. Caley, he was shaking his camera and moving it around when the purloin went off, and I don't think he's on this reject chain either.
Contact
this might be
to
clean.
Distract. There's the take. Hasn't been able to see it yet. Here's another take. I don't think Caley is going to find a way through this game.
The only saving grace here is that Caley will take un-Caley-like shots on Taeyeon because he absolutely has to, and he could shoot for this last talk, but that's what it's going to have to be.
Has it down to 2.
That is very impressive given what was happening at the time. There was a camera shake to distract from the reject, a bit of a reject chain, but most of the reject chain, I think, were lowlights or cast members too. The question is, can you shoot to the next talker with 2 minutes left? Can you do that?
Look at how polite KCM's being. He knows. He knows the situation. That was odd, but we'll take it.
And he's waiting. There it is. Next talker dies.
Heads off, and KCM stays alive.
Wow, I can't believe it. I was being a little sarcastic. Really? Next talker dies? Is that what we're waiting for? But it absolutely was. There were 2 of them. One of them talked. That was it. This time, KCM does win the coin flip.
Oh, man. I was so sure KCM had that, and then I was so sure Caley had that, and then KCM had it.
That was just an incredible game all around. KCM played that so freaking well, and Caley still narrowed it down, but then KCM retorts and says, I have 2 minutes. You got to imagine, if those roles were reversed, Caley's just going to talk and die. He's just going to finish, because that's what he does. KCM, on the other hand, played it safe, and in that case, it was literally next person to talk's getting a bullet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have located the smallest spy in the venue. He has a green arrow over his head. It's KrazyCaley, picking up 34% flirt at the front windows.
The question is, can you really hold your shot here now? It's Taeyeon, it's Caley, he's got a lead. He plays with small men when he has a lead very often. He likes to push that envelope when he has the lead. He's done it over and over again in his sets, especially big ones, especially finals. But can KCM really take that difficult shot rather than hold it? He held it on Modere. It's what he had to do, but he's done it too often overall. He's lost more games than he's won from it against Caley because Caley gets missions done. You know he's going to get missions done here too. Can KCM take that shot this time to save his season?
Green flirt brings us up to 85%. It's a relatively slow game and a relatively visible game from KrazyCaley. He has not been taking that hidden position that he so usually likes to as Smallman. He's really trying to throw KCM a different look here.
Yeah, remember, he kept himself visible in the front conversation as Salmon and then acted like a green swapper. He basically said, I'm going to let him see me so he's not suspicious, and then I'm going to do something like that. I wonder if he's just going to do the exact same play.
He may well. KrazyCaley really playing against the grain of what he usually does against KCM, and it's been working so far.
Well, I think Taeyeon is the one time it might work. It's the one time where KCM might feel he has to take that shot, but you're still probably going to have to show a hardtail, I think. Or an AI is going to have to do fingerprints. KCM, he might be more aggressive on Taeyeon, you have to be, but you still got to give him a reason to shoot. It was the swap last time.
Minute and 30 to play. KrazyCaley really taking his time with this.
Oh boy, Salmon's at center statues. And Kaylee's going to sit back there, and he's going to wait, I think, and do it again. He just got exactly what he wanted, if that's his plan.
I think you might be right. He's not going, though.
Nope, and General beats him to it.
Spot, so it's not going to happen on Salmon, but he might do it on General.
With this lead in Veranda coming up and Terrace 2 next, I think he might be okay with just saying, I'm going to idle and see if he shoots a Civ.
KCM's not the kind of person you want to dare to take a shot, but on this map, you may as well.
Yeah, it ain't Modere.
Done, but it's not going to matter.
I mean, the hold on Modere was very impressive, but this ain't Modere.
Contact. This is exactly what it is. He's just trying to... Oh, he coughed that.
Yep, and here come a bunch of lowlights, and KCM was zoomed in, so he's going to be able to get a lot of high-value lowlights. The question is, will it force him into taking a tricky shot because he gets tunneled on someone? Just like with the time ads, that's the danger sometimes when you don't see the cough.
If KCM gets tunneled on someone, he's not going to shoot them. It's 15 seconds left, unless they talk right now.
Is he going to actually hold
10.
this?
We're under 10. I think he's going to hold it. Can he hold the shot? Green time ads.
White. There's a white.
One green, one white, and Caley is just hiding. KCM knows he does not have to take a shot right now.
And you can't see Smallman anywhere. Is he actually going to test the limits here? Nope, he's visible again. He's visible again. I was wondering, is he actually going to test this and try to see if he can stay out of shot range?
He had to take a white test there, because if he didn't, KCM is good enough to know he can just sit and wait for overtime.
And he's going to do this again, I guess. He's just going to test one of the most patient snipers in the game again.
Here
white
comes
purloin.
The purloin. It is a white test.
We're going to dance?
Gets the look at it.
It's a miss!
Shot!
No, it's a miss! Oh, God. Oh, God.
He had so much time. He just flicked for it.
Oh man.
No. Disaster strikes KCM.
Oh.
That could have been the moment. That could have been it.
It was about to be 10-7. And oh wow, Caley doing the honorable thing.
Caley knows. Caley knows, gives it right back.
Wow.
He knows.
He knows.
Him beat that game.
These two have so much respect for each other, and it shows right there. He knows he was beat. He knows his sniper opponent held the shot against all odds and just got beat by a weird little thing, especially with the new build, maybe a little bit of a lag. It doesn't take much. Caley gives it right back. Probably a little easier to do with the lead.
Yeah,
if it were tied, it's probably a harder gesture, but it's the honorable thing, and it is in the end the fairest thing. Look, the aim matters. You know, the aim matters. Yeah. It's part of the game. It's fair. Caley was not obligated to do that. I want to make this very clear. He did not owe that to KCM, but I also know he doesn't want to win that way, and I admire it. I admire it for both of them. And if there's a comeback, we'll be talking about this for a long time.
We certainly will, but KCM could very well have just won that game on Spy pretty easily. It's the sniper loss that really hurts.
Yeah, absolutely.
That could have been the comeback.
That could have been the comeback. Yeah, that would have been really big, potentially. He could have done it. He could have done it. You gave away one of your best chances to win a Spy. That's what keeps happening.
We got the wrong shot on Taeyen. We got that bump on Pub.
Wow. Caley is informing me that KCM is saying he does not want to accept that.
Really?
He is not acknowledging the win. He's taking the blame for the missed shot. Wow. And
okay.
And he just wants to play a straight game for it.
All right, okay. Fair enough.
All right, they're going to replay it. KCM wants to win it clean. Okay, guys. All right. These are honor counter punches. I am honorable. I will give the game back. No, I am more honorable. I will play it out.
Give this to me, Caley.
Yep. Well, look at it, who it is, too. A little bit of your own medicine.
You're not wrong.
It's Smallman. Honestly, however this ends up, what more can you say about this game and this community that just happened? One of them gave the game right back, to be fair, and the other said, no, I'll play for it clean. Two tremendous guys, two tremendous ambassadors for the game. It's very fitting that they're the ones playing the finals, and they just showed us why, for reasons completely unrelated to their skill.
KCM picks up a green transfer at the blue bookcase to open the game up. That's blue microfilm in pocket, in conversation with seduction for 51% on the flirt.
Of course, if they were both really honorable, neither of them would play Smallman on Tayan. I'm just saying. They're not that honorable.
Relatively slow start after that, though. Not doing anything crazy. Oh, this is a free bug. You can't really tell from the angle, but this is a free bug.
Yeah, pretty much. Not that matters that much. Again, it's Tayan, and that's kind of the bummer thing that you realize when you get a great bug on Tayan. You realize, well, they probably already thought I had it.
Yep, probably.
Oh, the microfilm coincides with the zoom.
Oh, that was all right. That's the microfilm done. That's one down, and a half of one as well. That's two down on the two flirt. Flirt done, microfilm done. Just over 1:45 to play.
This is only valuable if you get the bug clean, and then you either avoid statues or avoid BB. That's the thing. Caley's going to treat this very much like a 3-5 unless he's very confident you couldn't have gotten a bug opportunity. So you only get something out of this microfilm if you avoid one of those two missions that he's going to be banking on.
Well, in conversation with the double agent.
And hanging out in front of Smallman, just like last time.
Banana bread.
Here's the contact. One big low light at statues, but I think that might be all he gets.
Hair splits, that could be interesting, but we do knock out two highlights, Rocker and Green Dress.
So a couple more go down. And now, after all of that, KCM goes for the bug into bookcase. Can't even see him back there. We've got the safety off from KrazyCaley,
Big old
but
blob,
he
big
can't
old blob.
find a target. And KCM gets that game back anyways.
Honor is rewarded. I love it. I love it so much. This is one of the best things that's ever happened in SCL, frankly. The honor shot from Caley, the response honor refusal from KCM, and then winning anyway. This could not have gone any better. Hats off to these two gentlemen.
Onward to Terrace. It's 7-11. It's not looking good for KCM, but if we can make up a game here, and then all he has to do is beat Caley on his own map.
Yeah, that's all it takes. He's done it before. I actually think he has a slightly better chance on Veranda than he does on Terrace, which may seem counterintuitive. The players are confirming with me, by the way, 11-7. That's what I've told them. We're pretty certain of that, I believe.
Yep, that's what I've got. That's what the stream's got.
Yep.
It looks right.
And we spent enough time talking about it. I think we must be right. And oh my God, is Caley leaving swap on? Nope. Canceling the game. Yep.
He pressed the button and he's like, no, wait, I forgot.
Nope, that would be crazy. I don't care. I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy.
He doesn't spell them both with a K.
No, that would be insane. So we're looking at the standard setup here. Inspect and swap are off. No reason to be at statues other than fingerprints or losing heat. But it's just going to be Caley as Rocker. Probably playing a pretty standard Terrace game. Again, KCM has to win most of the games from here on out.
Banana bread.
Caley immediately fake contacts. Everyone in conversation. No highlights for real. KCM being very diligent about that. Couple of people trade places, including KrazyCaley, sorry, but
the only reason this could be interesting is that neither player has played Terrace this season.
Everyone back in conversations again. Just walking between conversations. KrazyCaley's not going to take it. Not yet. Picking up the briefcase real quick for a print.
It's like there's a shift change between conversations every few seconds.
Finally, someone decides, screw this, I want a drink.
So what's interesting about this is that I think Caley's going to play it aggressively or counterintuitively simply because he knows that he can drop both of these and can win by just taking both sniper games on Veranda. That's what his lead gets him. He can lose both of these and both his Veranda spy games. He just needs to win sniper on Veranda twice for another championship.
First flirt comes off after all this time for 46% at the window. We chase back into conversation. Pretty nice tight path around that conversation circle as well. Bails on it immediately. This looks like a fake purloin.
Yep, it's just like before. Again, why not? Why not lean into these coin flips?
There
you don't need this game. And KCM's not even looking. Does he see it now?
The direct take has occurred. No reaction yet. Hasn't even seen it. Now there's another take. Now he can see that it's not that the list is not in Toby's pocket. There's the second flirt coming off for 73%. What's the reaction here from KCM? We're seeing lowlights. Just a couple, though. Not much.
It's steely patience. That's what the reaction has been all night.
Wow, this is...
He's going to try to fingerprint. I think he's really hoping the ambassador gives him an opportunity, but it doesn't look like it's happening. We have less than a minute left.
KCM is stressing me out, man.
Well, because you and I are putting ourselves in the shoes of the sniper, and we're saying, would I be able to hold that shot? And we're probably both thinking, probably not.
There was, like, no reaction on the purloin. Oh my god, here's the flirt getting finished up. That's 2 missions done. 1 fingerprint in pocket, 30 seconds to play. Contact still available.
Oh boy. Oh, this laser. Is he waiting for a talk from Twin? Is Caley going to go to bar to get this print?
The shot comes off. It's not the right one. And KCM needs to win out from here to force a draw.
He needs 5 straight. He needs to win his spy game on Terrace, and then he needs to sweep Veranda. And this was a big deal because he can get that Veranda spy game. He's done it before in the finals in Season 3. He won a game with 2 hardtails on Veranda when he was down 5-1 and when his back was against the wall. If he had held serve there, he actually still had a chance. As improbable as it seems, he's done it before, but that shot all but killed any hopes he has.
Yep, that could very easily be the nail in the coffin then and there. First flirt for KCM hits 51%, but this is just too big of a mountain to climb.
Yeah, I still believed it was possible because of that Veranda history, because he's done it before, because there's so much occlusion, so much busyness on Veranda, but it depended on him taking at least that first Terrace game, if not both of them. That, for me, is the moment that this became probably impossible.
85% on the flirt now.
And the statues are off again. Same setup. Nobody fooling around here at the end of a championship match.
Wrong arm bug coming along the backside of the ambassador. Perfectly lined up with the sniper. That was clean.
I mean, he's got to at least suspect it. And again, Caley can afford to take a more aggressive shot now if he needs to because he's got so many chances on Veranda. But my God, the bugs this match. Some from Caley, most from KCM. KCM has done exactly what I expected, exactly what Caley must have expected, and it hasn't mattered. And that's the crazy thing about KCM's bugs. You can camp them, and he still gets them by you.
Probably could have just done a cane bug and it would have been great as well, but that was a thing of beauty. Here come the contacts. Here come the highlights. One more flirt will do it. I think KCM needs to play this really patient here. Wait for the selection target to come to him. Still has 1 minute and 35 to play with.
Yeah, totally agree. Gonna play it cool again. You've got all the time in the world, and again, you can flirt anywhere. Well, not from across conversation.
It's 85%. Any flirt will do.
No, I mean from the other conversation. The twin
yeah.
goes to the one place we don't want.
Yeah, this is true. KCM steps into bar to break up the chase. He's got plenty of time to play with, but can he survive this talk?
Yeah, that's going to be a big moment. I like that he's got the drink, though, because Caley's going to think, well, he's setting up the purloin again. You're really going to want to shoot for a talk, especially a talk that doesn't actually send anyone.
That is true. There's the flirt getting finished up. Not much reaction out of KrazyCaley. 2 seconds. And it looks like KCM has this one. It's 8-12. All we have to do is sweep Caley's map.
Ugh. And now that missed shot on Terrace, what did I say? Looking so huge. You might have been tempted to think at that point the match was already over pretty much, but no, not with the way he can bug on Terrace. He could have swept this map. He could be sitting in a very winnable position heading into Veranda, but instead he needs to sweep it.
That hurts. This could have been a very different look. 11-9 without that missed shot. KrazyCaley on the spy side to open up the last map of the evening of regulation time. 31% on the first flirt is not the number you want, but KrazyCaley's probably going to hit a green test on his third flirt, knowing him.
Yeah, probably, and I'll say it again. In Season 3, the finals between these two, Caley jumped out to a 5-1 lead, and KCM had to spy down 5-1. He got a win-off as Seek on Veranda with microfilm and swap.
Green test on the second flirt at window, in fact, for 82%. Caley moving quickly. Fingerprint on a briefcase coming off now as well. Briefcase comes off nice and clean. Now KrazyCaley sits back and observes for a moment.
And that fingerprint obviously presages how he wants to finish later. He's going to try to keep it down to one hardtail, probably bug. It usually is. He does like the cheese microfilm, but he's been getting caught for it a little more often. The thing it's least likely to be, based on past mission tendencies, is actually purloin.
He waited a long time to see where his seduction target's going. Opts not to chase to bookcase, though.
And again, Caley is conspicuously idling. He's done it several times tonight. It actually hasn't usually worked when he's played his standard aggressive game. That has worked because of KCM's patience, which we've been talking about all night.
This is true. In conversation with the double agent now, 2 minutes and 15 with no completions. Takes a purloin. It's a white test.
Well, making me look silly. He does not purloin much. He's not, at least this season, on Veranda, but he's going to go for it here.
Contact. I don't think KCM got a good look at that guest list being gone.
No, and he has been vulnerable to it. I remember I got away with a purloin against him on Veranda as well. It's tough on Veranda, and I think it's particularly tough for KCM. The question is he really going to shoot the wrong person here? Caley doesn't appear to be banking on it this time, though, with that fingerprint.
Flirt done. We do have the one fingerprint in pocket. We've got 3 missions done. Minute and 30 left to play. Where's the last mission going to come from?
He wants a fingerprintable statue and do an early swap, but the seconds are ticking off, and that's becoming less viable as they tick.
Under 1 minute and 15 now.
He is waiting for a combination fingerprint some other mission, I think. If he can get it, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, so he's just going to get the fingerprint done. No, the cast beats him to it.
Redirects off of the briefcase, not able to get there in time. Under 1 minute now.
Either there's a print here, or we're about to do the book cheese.
There is a print here. It was a difficult one, not able to make it happen.
And that might swing the game, because if he does try to dump this book, oh, KCM, look at KCM's sniper angle. Oh boy, I think he's watching this real close.
I think so. KrazyCaley doesn't go for it. 30 seconds to play, 2 missions needed.
It's a bug path, potentially from KCM's angle at
Oh,
least.
it's gonna be the briefcase again.
He is just forcing this, and it's gonna have to be into a bug while he does it.
That's the second fingerprint. There's the highlight. It's Kane's side. That's way too close. Bug doesn't even take. The shot comes off. KrazyCaley has 3 match points left.
You could tell he didn't want to finish that way. I guarantee he wanted a print on statues or books or something that he could just take and combine with a hardtail, but he had to do it with bug, and KCM's patience pays off.
But now KrazyCaley gets a sniper game to play with, and this is his home turf from the sniper side.
Banana bread.
KCM opens things up with a banana split. Here come the lowlights.
He's trading a lot of them. I think the problem is he's banking on being one of them, and he's not.
That was right in front of the camera when
Yep.
he went for that banana split. That is so many lowlights.
It was partially behind the pillar. I think that was the idea, but look who he has, by the way. This was the character who spoofed the overtime in Season 3.
31% on the first flirt.
And I'm worried that we have once again given away a crucial spy game with an aggressive early move. Because look at those lowlights. I think he was banking on being one of the lowlights. If he does something aggressive soon, we'll know that's what it was. And if he's not, and we know he's not, how does he finish?
In conversation with the double agent, but we've already got that mission done.
Oh, and that quick lead.
Lots of movement. Look at all of this movement from KCM.
He is acting like he's low lit. I think this is going to be the last spy he plays this year.
I think so. Second flirt for 65%, which is just barely not in range for the 3 flirt. 34 is the best you can get on a close white.
Even someone who's not watching Flirt is going to notice this movement, especially with the party this narrowed down.
It's so hard watching a spy game fall apart like this. An attempted bug, both walking, those are always difficult to hit. This one doesn't take, but it was very hard to spot.
It was barely visible. The path is so weird. We're going to time out here, and yep, it's a quick leave too. I think Caley's going to get a couple. Well, he might not get lowlights now because he has no reason to expect a timeout at this point, is the weird thing.
Oh, Trek, it's 99% on the flirt. That hurts me, inside and outside as well.
We just have too much to do. There's just no way. He's just trying to bank on some kind of sieve shot or something, I think. The timeout was probably necessary. The weird thing is, Caley catches timeouts like that almost all the time, unless you narrow the party down for him, in which case he changes up his style and actually doesn't catch things like that as often, is the crazy
Bad
thing.
entry into conversation, into a green purloin. I feel like KCM's head isn't in this anymore.
This is it. This is going to be it. He's going to, a low light takes
There's the take.
Here comes the championship.
It's a cast member. There's the shot. And KrazyCaley holds his title for 5 seasons in a row.
And once again, we see KCM getting the spy wins he need, but just giving them back on Sniper. That has been the story every time these two have met. KCM has always gotten the spy wins necessary to win. He just hasn't been able to lock down the other side of the game. And that game, just like so many of the other spy games tonight, was a winnable game that was given away by time ads, missed pads, things like that. You got to wonder what could have been, because even with all those errors, still pretty close in the end.
Yeah, that was, man, like it was literally the first 4 games, and then they just traded back and forth until the trumpets sound.
That's a great point. 4-0, right? And then 9-9 afterwards. That's all it was. It was the slow start. And again, those games, those chances to come back that he had later. That's the really rough part. And that's just the story of it. It's just there's so little margin against Caley. Ugh.
And he had those chances. They were there. They were very much there. A couple of them were even on the spy side. You had the missed shot. You had that weird path on Pub.
Yeah, the crazy thing is KCM won Spy games, but it wasn't on the venues you expected for the most part. He got away with bug after bug after bug on the hard venues to win as Spy. He gets it done. The Spy is not the problem. It's always been getting the sniper to match it. And yeah, I think we're going to try to get these gentlemen in for a short interview in just a minute. We won't belabor it too much. I'm sure they're both very, very tired, but we definitely need to talk to them.
Yeah.
At least a little bit, and congratulate them
We
both.
need answers.
We need answers, yeah. And they're going to be a little fiery. That's okay, because we're going to have a lot of nice things to say too about what was once again just another exceptional matchup between these two incredible players. But it was just the hole in the beginning. I mean, this is what has happened between these two several times. Caley jumped out to a season 3 finals lead. He jumped out to a 5-1 lead in one of the regular season matches, and every time that happens, KCM comes roaring back. But it's not enough at that point is the problem. So, oh goodness. Well, did you make it through the whole time? You're still alive, right? You made it.
I'm still alive. I still have water left.
You still have water left. Well, it was quicker than you'd expect given a match of this length, yeah. But just tremendously well earned. And the thing that's going to stay with me, and we're going to have to talk to them about this too, the thing that's going to stay with me is certainly the honor in those Taeyen games. Giving the game back because of the missed shot, refusing the charity, and then winning anyway. For me, that is maybe the coolest thing that has ever happened in competitive SpyParty, and there's a lot of competition for that title.
Oh god, yes, there is.
Okay, they are just finishing up. Oh, goodness. Well, I'm going to take this opportunity to first of all thank you for this cast.
Thank you as well. This has been wonderful. And
Yes,
thank you, Berar, for
Yes, thank a
working the
Berar.
camera.
There is KrazyCaley. I don't know if KCM is following him, but we'll see in just a minute. Let me be the first to say, Caley, congratulations.
Thank you. I hate Tan, by the way. I don't know if everyone knows that. I hate that map.
Hate it so much that you immediately took the first opportunity to not play another sniper game on it. You'd rather just automatically lose.
I was like, if I'm going to give the game back, let's give it right now.
Why not? Oh,
no,
I'm sure that was a tough decision, but it was probably a little easier on Taeyen.
Literally played 1,000 games of it to try and keep KCM from double picking it into me, and not fooled at all. Not fooled at all. KCM immediately
I probably wouldn't have double picked it if you didn't play all those games. Okay. So there's a few things going into that, right? Like, what else am I going to pick? Because you're gonna pick Veranda.
Yeah.
And because I'm gonna ban Library, like those are my choices, right? Like if I ban Library or if I ban Veranda, you pick Library, and I don't want like my doubled map to be like right at the start of the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, if I don't pick Balcony, then I got to pick something later, and Tien is later. And Warning Track thinks I'm good at it.
Taeyen? Oh,
did we split it, or did I win 3-1?
In the end, it was a split.
Okay.
It was a split because I got robbed.
Yeah.
Because I got robbed.
You did get robbed. That was absolutely.
It was my own fault. It was my fault. I should have moved, but I didn't know if I had time.
So people have been asking me, did you learn anything on during the 1,000 games of Taeyen? And essentially, I took away 2 pieces of tech that I was going to use if I got the chance, and I only got the chance to use one of them. And the one I used
is tech, though.
The one of them that I used is just like red test as small and then hope that they freak out and like, oh, that person must have been the cough.
Was that a strategy? Was that intentional?
Yeah,
because that's tricky.
Cough, and hope they freak out and go, was that a cough, and get really paranoid.
I didn't see it, and I wasn't even sure that the people in the front conversation had not been the one who coughed, because it happened so fast, you know.
Yeah, but I was really hoping to frame.
Later on, I was like, well, it could have been Smallman because he can hide anywhere and do it. So it actually incriminated you, but like 30 seconds later.
I was hoping to get Salmon shot that game, but he was in the front, so he's like very visibly not the cougher.
Yeah, I think there were 2 people of like the 6 in the front conversation that I was sure didn't cough, and he was one of them, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you guys feel? I'll ask you kind of in turn. First of all, KCM, what's going through your mind after falling behind 4-0 like that?
Oh my God, why do you have to bring it up like that? No,
well, because we noticed, to your credit, you guys went 9-9 after that. You guys went dead even after that point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was just trading back and forth all
So
night long.
it's proof that the comeback just isn't going to happen. Like
Well, the comeback very much could have happened if you hadn't gotten robbed.
Yeah, man. I would have had one more game on Veranda.
Yeah,
that's not where I want to have another game, but it would have been.
Like you've taken out Caley on Veranda before.
Oh yeah. I could lose a set to KCMmmmm
there.
Veranda real easy.
Okay there.
But you can't sweep it. That was the big ask. Yeah, if you'd gone in with one more win, it gets a little interesting.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I would have liked to have hit the double digits. I don't like the finals being that one-sided, like a 4-point difference. I would rather it be closer. So sorry, guys. To everybody watching, sorry it wasn't more exciting.
Well, you put on a good show, man.
The highlight of the match for pretty much all of us was the dueling honor. Where Caley does the very honorable thing, and
I just did it. KCM just messaged me like, "No,"
and then he said, "No,
we're not doing that."
Which I gotta say, just totally on brand for both of you. And then KCM comes back and wins the game anyway. It was honestly inspiring to all of us. The way both of you reacted and counter-reacted to that, and the way it played out was so fair and decent and honest, with the most on the line that there has ever been. So I guess, first I just want to compliment the two of you for what I think is personally the coolest moment I've ever seen casting this game. Even though it's not tech cool, it's not strategy cool, it's not skill cool.
Oh, it's just good sportsmanship cool.
Yes, it sounds boring, but I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. But I do want to hear how that played out in the moment between the two of you.
I just felt really bad because I was beat, I was clean beat in that game. I threw my janky Smallman strats at him. He didn't fool him in any way. And then I'm just like, all right, let's purloin, do a bunch of cheese, and hope we're low lit or something. And then he clearly sees the purloin. Clearly, I'm not even trying to dance. If that had been an intentional dance where I was trying to get him to miss, then I would have been like, haha, I went on a dance, and I'm not going to give it back. But because I was standing still, it was just a miss shot, and it felt bad.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I have to take that shot quickly because you're going to dance. Why wouldn't you, right? You should be able to win. So I have to shoot right away because you might dance. So even though you didn't dance, the threat of it is so real.
It is. Smallman is
that I have to take the quickest, relatively clean shot I could take, but I didn't get one.
Well, we were saying on stream, we were kind of predicting that he was going to dance, and I just love, though, that the threat of the dance swung the game, not the actual dance.
You laugh, but Smallman dancing on Tan can be impossible.
It's a problem. It is a
straight
problem.
Up. Yeah.
You might only get 3 of your 10 seconds of countdown to shoot him, so you just gotta hope you hit him, and I didn't.
When on the playback game, I really was worried about the bug into bookshelves, and I was gonna shoot, and I was like, no, we'll just wait until he comes out, and then I was like, oh, he's done, isn't he? Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I was Smallman. What you have to do if you're Spy is you have to do that bug, and then you have to grab a book ASAP so you can cancel the remainder of your animation. That is a hard tell, though. Grabbing a book that quickly will be a hard tell.
But on Tan, it's so blobby that you can get away with it.
It's a little bit of cheese that TN is perfect for. You can't get away with that on most maps, but TN you can. I was surprised, honestly, that I got away with the microfilms that round because normally I like to do it when I've got shadow cover, somebody else in front of me or behind me, just anywhere at any of the shelves. If there's another person, then I can get away with micro. And I didn't really have it that time, and I still got away with it. So.
Yeah, I was trying to guard bug, I think, during the microfilm. I don't know what happened. I remember during the front that you were there, but I wasn't. I must have not been guarding it very well. Amba was in trouble, and Amba's always in trouble on Tan, but you know what I mean.
How did you guys like my bug on Terrace?
It was so nice.
We were sickest bug ever. Both of them were good, but the first one didn't make.
Okay, that was a great bug. But can we talk about your bug on Ballroom? Because I looked at that bug afterwards, and I was like, "What? How?
Wait, was that the one where you had a drink in hand and somehow got the wrong arm?"
Yeah, and then I was like, "There's no angle for the wrong arm bug, so I'm safe on that." And then he just did it.
I'm pretty good at getting the arm I want.
Yeah, that was a play and a half.
We were fangirling out over the bugs on both sides, frankly. Caley had a couple of his own, but we were specifically expecting KCM to break out the bugs, and you did not disappoint, sir. They were some of your best.
Yeah, thanks.
But Kaylee, I do want to talk about that one bug on gallery from Kaylee because
I finally got a Twitch bug by
it's
KCM.
not just that
I finally
you.
got vengeance for all the Twitch bugs he's thrown at me over the years.
We said exactly that. I said this feels like KCM's gallery spy game. You played it like he would.
That's a straight KCM bug, is what I did there. Like just a straight KCM, good old Twitch bug. Do it with a laser on you so that they're not looking at it. You know, it's really, that was a very KCM inspired bug for sure.
Even if I lose, if my strategies win, then I win, right?
That's right. That's right.
Moral victories. I do.
Next, you're going to tell me you weren't camping and you were playing behaviorally.
Yeah.
No, I was camping pretty hard. I was even trying to camp Tan pretty well.
I do want to ask just a couple more questions, if that's all right. I won't keep you guys here too long. I'm sure you're very tired. For KCM, I want to ask, how did you envision kind of the match going? Were you hoping to get out to an early lead? Were you hoping to go take that lead late because of that Tayen pick? Or was it just try to win every game and not worry about the overarching match?
You know what? I did have a strategy, and I'm not really sure that I stuck with it. Because Kaylee's like you. Okay, it's a problem that's kind of twofold. And first of all, you want your spy games to be really long, and you want your sniper games to be really short, because sniper's really freaking hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a moment where you can relax. So any opportunity that you have to extend the length of a match against your opponent, so make their sniper game as long as you can, any opportunity you have to do that is really good. But on the other hand, like if you do want to finish missions, then you can't save all of your hardtails for the final seconds of your game. Like you still have to throw hardtails in the middle of that game. So even if your strategy, I think, is to like play a long game, say I want every game to hit the 3-minute mark and I'm not going to rush unless I have some crazy read once,
Yeah.
You're either going to finish a lot of your games with your hardtail, which is kind of predictable. Like, there's nothing else for the sniper to watch in the last 30 seconds of the game, except they're going to be really looking at bug, purloin, and swap, because those are huge threats in the very end of the game. So you have to get those things earlier, which means you won't be able to play your long game if the sniper is playing theirs really well, right? Like if they shoot you in the middle of a game, even if you meant to take it really far, then that doesn't work out. So that was my game plan, was to play really long games, but they typically didn't get there because Kaylee can shoot for those mid-game hardtails pretty efficiently. So
yeah, that's a good point. Well, speaking of crazy reads, I have to ask in particular, both of you, I would love to hear from on this one, about that Modere game where Kaylee swapped early and then transitioned into a frame. There's two things I got to know about this. We couldn't see any way, Kaylee, that you would be able to be confident about who you could or couldn't frame, but it turns out from our perspective, you did pick the best frame target possible in Disney. So I want to know, did you know that? How did you know that? And KCM, after Kaylee responds, certainly, how did you manage to not buy into that frame?
So to answer your first question, I swapped. I had thought I had gotten away with it. My goal was to get away with it. But then I just got the sense that I did not get away with it. I thought I was seeing low lights, and I was like, oh shit.
You were correct.
So then the goal at that point was just pick a really active person and hope that they're not one of the low lights. And I picked Disney because he was doing a bunch of stuff. And I just tried to purling frame him. And then I was like, okay, I'm like either I or Disney is gonna die. And then the no shot happened. I was like, oh damn, this is diamond, isn't it?
That no shot was exciting. Kaylee, you messaged me like after you were like sick no shot. It was a sick no shot.
It was a sick no shot for sure.
So you showed 2 hardtails and a pretty good BB. That's
I was like, there's no way he doesn't not shoot. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the only way I don't shoot there is if I do have good intel, right? Like if I, know that the spy has to be one of these 3 characters, which is what I had down to. So here's what happened. Like, I memorized the statues. You don't think anybody's going to swap, but I mean, those statues are exposed. They're great statues to swap, right? And I didn't think that there was any mismemorization. So the swap occurred, and I thought somebody with a black outfit had gone there, and that's all I had. So I just highlighted.
That's right. I remember that. I was like, that's what. Yeah.
It's Smallman, even though I was like, it's probably not Smallman because I'd know if it was. Like I have an eye for that guy, but he's got a black suit, and I was like, this character's probably wearing something dark. I low lit the people who I knew didn't do it, but there were still neutral lights who I had to watch. But as the game went on, Purloin happened. That turned into a 50. I didn't even bother low lighting Smallman, and then you guys didn't do anything. It was a really good frame, though. It was really convincing because I think I was leaning towards you before that, and then after that, I really didn't know.
But you had a good mission count, is why you didn't shoot. You were confident that neither of them could be done.
Yeah, neither of them were flirting. I didn't think. I think Mustache Guy, if he got really lucky with his STs, he could win. Like really lucky, but I mean, not taking that shot on him is the reason why I sometimes lose to a lucky flirt win, right? Like you get a 2 flirt game on balcony, I typically don't shoot for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of patience that paid off in this game for once.
The fact that you were able to make that no shot because you weren't crediting flirts blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be. I don't think Duke did any flirting. Did you? You might have flirted once. You didn't try, right?
I flirted like distance flirts here and there to keep you from flirt pairing, but I think I might have gotten close to finishing the mission, but then I was like, why even bother by the end of it?
Yeah, and then Disney was really active at first, but then he just sat still for a long time, and not really a great spot for flirting either. Like he could get max distance flirts, but he's spending the whole game doing it, so he's not going to.
Did I finally get value out of fingerprint mode?
No, she. Yeah, that wasn't the greatest shot. I just assumed you misclicked when she picked up the briefcase. But she must have passed the briefcase before the amber arrived or something. There were other reasons for shooting her, but that was like the final straw.
Got it.
I don't think she had 2 prints.
No, we didn't think so either. We were a little surprised by the timing, but you all.
Everybody left, which is great for me. And I tried to low light them all, and when I low lit Orange Dress, it low lit through her. Like I must have hit a gap in the character model or something, like the crook where her arm folds or something. But I swear I low lit her, and I guess it low lit through general, because later on in the game, I remember thinking to myself, well, Orange Dress is still a suspect, but I swear she's not supposed to be. But I didn't know what was going on anymore, because I grabbed those low lights fast and went back to like gathering data, and I just let it slip through both my mind and the laser through Orange Dress.
Oh, curse this triangle perfect game. Checker, why don't you make a worse game? If you guys have anything else to say before we wrap this up.
Great match as always, KCM. It's the toughest man in the business.
Well, it seems to be getting easier for you every season. So.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I feel like my time is running short. Like I feel like I was a couple of TN games away that I should have lost from like going to missions equals points maybe.
Oh, that would have been a mess.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we would have survived it. Well, you're both consummate gentlemen and tremendous competitors, and we enjoyed watching it as always. Congratulations to both of you for a tremendous season and a tremendous match, and thank you so much for letting us watch it.
Yep, GG's.
Yeah, thanks for watching it, and thanks to everybody for supporting it. Go SCL.
Go SCL.